This program is made possible by funding from the UCF Metropolitan Center for Regional Studies, where government leaders, business executives, and academic experts come together to discuss major issues facing the state of Florida.
Gary Sain, CEO of Visit Orlando, visited WUCF Studios in April to tape an episode of UCF Metro Center Outlook. Sain passed away in May, but his family and colleagues at Visit Orlando requested that his interview with me be shared with the Central Florida community with the hope that what's to follow honors his memory and serves as a tribute to his legacy. Hello everyone, welcome to UCF Metro Center Outlook. I'm Diane Trees, Director of the UCF Metropolitan Center for Regional Studies and your host for Metro Center Outlook. Tourism generates nearly $30 billion in visitor spending in Central Florida each year, and the industry is our region's largest employer, providing jobs for 220,000 people. Joining me today is Gary Sain, President and CEO of Visit Orlando. We'll discuss tourism's regional impact, easing the entry process for international visitors, and more. But first, let's learn about how Legoland, our region's newest theme park, is contributing to development in Polk County.
It was billed as Florida's first theme park. Cypress Gardens opened in 1936 as a botanical garden, and over the years it became one of the biggest attractions in Florida, known for its water ski shows, lush gardens, and southern bells. In 2010, the world's second largest theme park and attraction company, Merlin Entertainment, bought Cypress Gardens, transforming it into Legoland, Florida.
Legoland is the biggest attraction now in Polk County, but also we're also part of what I call the Big Four. You know, we get included into that Central Florida mix of theme parks. We don't try to be all things to all people, first and foremost. What we do as core to the brand is that we are focused on families with small children aged 2 to 12. But true to the brand, we're very interactive. We have a lot of fun elements here where it's collective family fun. Just like the product, it's about building and playing with Lego, so all the attractions have interactive elements. I think the economic impact that we've made has already started to resonate within Polk County in particular. We've hired 1,000 people. We're about to hire 250 more for the water park. And there are plans in the future, you know, for new rides, new areas. We need more staff. So that injection of economic impact has been massive.
In designing Legoland, they kept the best of 75 years of history and blended it together with a new vision.
We were very aware of our responsibilities, is the word I would use, in terms of what we wanted to do with Cypress Gardens. And I think at first they were a little bit reserved. What are they going to do with the banyan tree? What are they going to do with the gardens? And we were kind of like, well, we want the gardens to be an integral part. So we were very aligned and we were very sensitive, and I think everybody's convinced that we did the right thing.
This is my second time here, and the first time I came out crying when I left because it was so amazing.
I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I wonder how they did this. How long did it take them?
It's been a beautiful project to work on, but the economic impact and the energy from the local community continues to resonate. And that just means we can continually invest and add more to the portfolio here and create more jobs and create more economic impact. That's what it's all about.
Visit Orlando President and CEO Gary Sain joins me now to discuss tourism and its impact on Central Florida. Gary, welcome to the show today.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you.
What brings so many visitors to Central Florida rather than Las Vegas or New York or even Miami for us?
Well, I like to say it's the great marketing we do at Visit Orlando.
I'm sure that's part of it.
But you know, we were very fortunate to break a record in 2010. We actually hosted over 50 million visitors. First time any destination in the United States has done that. And I think the reason why so many people come to Central Florida, to Orlando, to Orange County, not only from the United States but also from many international markets, is is just because of our people. It's amazing, you know, we got a great airport, we got great infrastructure with hotels, we got great resorts, we got a great convention center, we got the world famous theme parks, which is a big reason why a lot of people come. But what people always say, it's the incredible attitude and the hospitality of our people is what keeps them coming back. And I think that service...
That's a wonderful thing to hear.
Yeah, those service levels that we provide here, we're a very welcoming community. So whether you're coming here for leisure or you're coming here for business, we're very welcoming.
Well, I've heard you talk before, you know, when we think about tourism, a lot of it is the theme parks. But you've said that we have multiple kinds of tourism. What are some of the other elements here?
You know, we talk about, you know, all forms of tourism, and there's no question that the attractions is the reason why a lot come here. But we talk about shopping, by the way. I mean, here's, you know, they come for our great world-class theme parks, but look at the Brazilians. Boy, just go to Mall Millenia or Florida Mall or any one of the, you know, the outlets, and you hear a lot of Portuguese because shopping now has become very popular. In fact, we're the 4th largest shopping retail market in the United States.
I did not know that.
So rather than going to New York, you mentioned in your first question, well, you know, we compete with everybody, of course, not only domestically but internationally, but you don't have to go now to Miami for great shopping. You don't have to go to New York for great shopping. You do, of course, they have great shopping, but now you can come to Orlando for great shopping.
I heard you mention spas as well.
Yeah, you know,
which I hadn't thought about.
You know, we have some of the best we have world-class spas in Orlando, Central Florida. A lot of our great resorts have world-class spas. So Orlando is a place where we really built a brand, and the tagline is Orlando makes me smile. Because what we have found out is Orlando is all about nurturing and building relationships, whether that's with your family, whether that's with a business associate, whether it's with your spouse. And you can do so many different things. Not only the world-class theme parks, but we have close to 200 golf courses. We're the 2nd largest golf market in the United States next to Myrtle Beach.
Well, when you
so
talk
there's a
about
lot of different things you can do.
With those different facets, with the sports industry, we have the Central Florida, or not the Central Florida, but the Daytona 500 every year.
Absolutely.
And then we just had the NBA All-Star
Right.
game, which was very successful
And they happen to be
financially.
on the same weekend, which
So
was
is
very busy for all of us.
Sports tourism then for us might...
Sports tourism, medical tourism. I mean, I'm very excited with, of course, the Amway Center just redefined this. You know, it's funny, when we did the NBA All-Star game, I mean, you know, that was a partnership, a collaboration between many of us. And Alex and I have always talked about, you know, how do we use our assets here to really tell to really broaden the brand story about Orlando. So people see Orlando with its fullest content. Most people don't realize we have a downtown, if you can believe that. Because remember, our world-class theme parks really is our identity in so many ways, which we are so thankful for, and they will always do a great job for us in drawing new visitors. But at the same time, we're trying to broaden the story. So, like Nona Medical City, that's a whole new story to tell. Downtown and the new creative village that Mayor Dyer wants to do, the Amway Center, of course, the new performing arts. These are wonderful new stories that help to broaden the brand of Orlando, Orange County, and Central Florida.
We're talking about the tourists coming here, but funding for Visit Orlando is with the tourist development tax.
That is correct.
The 6% tax added on to
Right.
the hotel rooms.
Right.
How does that money come back, though, and benefit the community for those of us who live
Well,
here?
it does. You know, when you think about, you know, the investment we make, we have a budget close to $60 million, and about 70% of that is driven from TDT room tax paid in Orange County. And I remember in Osceola and Seminole, those go to separate CVBs, or Convention and Visitors Bureaus. But we also generate, we're a trade association. We have 1,200 members who pay dues, and we also offer a lot of marketing advertising programs that they buy into. So we generate another, you know, $8-10 million, and I call entrepreneurial efforts. So, you know, having a budget close to, like I say, $60 million really gives us the opportunity to really market domestically, internationally. A lot of people don't realize that we're responsible for the selling, long-range selling of the convention center, which is the largest asset in Orange County, the Orange County Convention Center. And we're responsible with the center, of course, but really booking that center in the years 2015,
I was going to say,
2020.
how far out do you book?
We go out to 2030 right now.
And that's
That's
amazing,
pretty far.
right? Now that is the second largest convention center.
Second largest convention center. The only one that's larger is McCormick Place. It's a 7 million square foot footprint. Think about that. 7 million square feet. Now that doesn't mean it's all, exhibit, prone, meaning that it's not a trade show per se. It's a lot back of the house, but it's about 2.1 million in exhibit space, and then there's about another 500, 600,000 in meeting rooms, and then the rest of it is all back of the house. But
this is quite a complex industry because we talk about the tourism and the attractions in the theme park, but we're also a business destination that factors in as well.
Well, it's a great question, and it's one that we really have gotten into over the last couple of years because we own the leisure side. I mean, every survey, in fact, I just saw a couple of surveys just come out that Orlando's the #1 family destination for the summertime, and we should be. I would be disappointed and quite angry if we weren't. But
That's been a goal of yours.
I don't want to lose business to anybody. But we know we do a lot of family business here. We know we do a lot of great leisure business here, but people don't realize we do 10 million business travelers a year to Orlando, and out of the 10 million, about 4 million come for meetings, conventions, and trade shows, not just at the convention center, but all of our big hotels have meeting space where they have in-house meetings. So really marketing Orlando, branding Orlando, in addition to our great leisure destination as a compelling place to do business, I think is the right direction for us. And we're going to spend some money this year for the first time ever. For the first time ever, we're going to be actually initiating a branding campaign just on that, why Orlando is a great place to do business.
What is your relationship? Visit Florida is a statewide.
Yeah.
And you have Visit Orlando.
Yes.
And the reason I ask is because of the funding issue.
Yeah, and
There's
the
a
governor.
big increase in
boy, I
budget
tell
this
you
year.
what, I tell you, first of all, the President of the United States has been, as a sitting president, he's been probably he's a tremendous advocate for travel tourism. We never had a president before that was so vocal about travel tourism and the benefits of that. Likewise, we have a governor who sees the benefit of that, and Visit Florida was one of the few enterprises, entities that actually got an increase in budget. Everyone realizes that, I don't think everybody realizes this, everyone realizes the importance of travel tourism, but international inbound is an export. So when you think
Yes.
about it, if you're a governor of the state, or if you're the President of the United States, and the President of the United States, his goal was to double exports by the year 2015, how do you do that? Well, you do it by getting more people to come here from Brazil, Argentina, from Ireland, from Germany, from China. That's how you build jobs.
Gary, I saw that President Obama on the federal level now is marketing the United States for the first time as a country, as a tourist destination.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that concept, and we haven't done it before.
No, and that's another great insight. A lot of people, sure, we have a marketing agency. No, United States of America has never had an entity to market the United States of America. Case in point, New Zealand. New Zealand, what's New Zealand the size of? I don't know, probably one of the small states in New England. They have over $100 million marketing budget, marketing to the world why people should come to New Zealand.
That's amazing.
Isn't it amazing?
It's
That's New
small.
Zealand. So you can imagine, Greece, with all the issues Greece has, Greece probably spends close to $150, $200 million just marketing Greece. They have to. Why? Because it's an export. International people coming in, they spend money, they stay longer. So, so with the President's help and U.S. Travel Association, which I'm a member of the executive committee, for many, many years we worked behind the scenes, and we got the Travel Promotion Act passed, and basically that creates a fund that's matched with, public funds are matched with private funds. No taxpayer pays into that. It's all driven by visa waiver fees. So,
which the visa process
right.
is being streamlined now.
Exactly.
For Brazil, India, China, those countries.
So to that point, now you're going to have up to $200 million for Brand USA, which is now the name of that marketing entity, to market the United States. And with the President's executive order, how do we make it easier for the Brazilians to come, for the Chinese to come, for the Indians to come, so on and so forth? You could see the synergy now. So we're in a really neat spot right now that we think if we do 4 million international visitors today, wow, if all this works, I think it will, man, we'll be able to double that in a very short period of time. And as I just said earlier, they stay an average of 9.5 nights international visitor to a domestic visitor about 4.4.
Well, that's what I saw. The statistics said 6% of our annual visitors are international, but that it was such a valuable segment. And partly because they stay longer.
That's right.
And I understand disposable income is very good.
Exactly. If you take it off if the 50, let's say it's 51.4, that was 2010, let's say 31 million of those 51 million are overnight visitors. International visitors is probably more up to about 11% of the total, and their contribution on the revenue side is probably north of 20%. So that's why that's such an important segment for us to grow. We think we can double Brazil in a short period of time. If Brazil became a visa waiver country, that would be terrific, because then we could almost double that within the same year.
So Visit Florida has targeted, or the strategy is marketing to some of the Latin American countries.
Right.
And so your strategy on a regional basis is similar to that.
Yeah, we work in tandem. I know it's a great question, because I think people sometimes are confusing. But their job is to market the state, so they got to take care of the whole state. Our job is to market Orlando, Orange County, and the broader, Central Florida. What's great about it is Visit Florida, or Florida as a state, gets about 82, 83 million. We get, as I said, 51, in that range. So the more marketing spent marketing Florida, we're going to get our disproportionate share. And then our job is just to make sure that we're covering our what really are the gems for us, that we're putting more resources, even more so than Visit Florida, on those opportunities that we feel are more directly related to what we do.
So you seem pleased that there's more of a master plan now, both on a federal level, state, and then regional, it's all coming together.
It's a great way to package it, because for the first time ever in my career, to have this national effort, to have this state effort, to have the local effort, and now everybody understanding the importance of it. Because we were talking earlier today, I remember I said that a lot of people don't, because Orlando's such a popular destination, well, you guys don't need to market, people just come. And that's not true. Build it, they will come. Harry Potter, is a great example of build it, they will come. They did a great job, but remember, people forget all the great marketing that Universal did up to that opening, and continue to do that. And all the great marketing support we provide, and if people believe build it, they will come, the Disney Universal SeaWorld will not be spending the millions of dollars that they are in marketing and advertising. We compete globally. We got to make sure that our story is being told more aggressively and more often, with a more compelling end result than other destinations.
When you have a phenomenon like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, when that opened in Islands of Adventure, 30% increase in attendance that first year.
Yeah, it was great.
Talk a little bit about that kind of impact and what it's meant to all of Central Florida for us.
Well, here's my viewpoint. It's funny, we created the social media campaign 2 years ago called 67 Days of Smiles. And why is that? Well, we did some research. It would take the average person 67 days, 8 hours a day, to see everything there is to see in Central Florida. But everyone...
I've lived here 30 years and I'm far from...
Right, but everybody, hey, what's new? What's coming? Everybody wants to know what's new. So, Harry Potter, as Disney will with Fantasyland and what they want to do, of course, with Avatar.
That's scheduled for, I believe, 2015.
Yes.
Do you see that as another big boon to the
absolutely. This is great. I think anytime you do that, what happens is not only does that entity see an uptick in traffic, but the whole destination sees an uptick. So, we are a destination that is that inspires, I think, visitation. And how do you inspire people? You provide opportunities that they cannot get anywhere else in the world. Remember, if people can go anywhere to some other place and get the same experience here, then you're competing. But we don't feel, even with what Universal and Disney is doing and SeaWorld and other parts of the world, there's no place on earth where you have everyone in one place. And as I like to say it, the originals. And there's something to be said when you're a Chinese traveler, or you're from India, or you're from Brazil. Yeah, you can go to a lot of places in the world, but I think there's almost that red badge you wear on your coat or shirt that says, you know what, I went to Orlando. I went to the original entertainment capital of the world.
We have Legoland now.
And Legoland.
How do you approach marketing for a brand new theme park?
Well, Legoland does a pretty good job themselves, and of course, what we do is we provide, as I think I used this word before, our job is to really brand the destination, market it. but really create the inspiration to come.
So you're branding
Yeah,
the destination.
the destination. So everyone then sort of does their own thing from there. So we just want to get them to Orlando, and of course, Legoland being a new entity, that they got great marketing, just like the other great attraction partners that we do business with, and they'll do fine. And I think the biggest challenge that we all have is I call it the share clock, because you only have so much time. The average domestic visitor spends 4.5 days, nights here.
We want them to come back.
We want them to come, well, 6, 7 days, they'll be coming back for many repeat trips. So the really challenge I think that anybody has in Orlando, especially if you're a first-time visitor, is how do I maximize my time? How do I do the things I want to do? So I think everyone's trying to figure out, make sure they maximize I call it share a clock.
You were talking about bringing people here, and the people think that it just falls into place, and that's why the dollars don't necessarily need to be spent. However, we have had a major recession here that has affected disposable income.
Absolutely.
How challenging has that been
Well,
for
it's
you?
been very challenging. You know, the 2009 was the worst recession in the history of our destination as far as travel tourism, and for that matter, a lot of other industries. In fact,
Yes.
the home building industry has not recovered.
It's profoundly
but
affected
for
all of
for
us.
travel tourism, it was devastating. And to give you a case in point of how resilient we are, though. I mean, how resilient and how special the brand is. That's why I have so much confidence, and why I think our best days are ahead of us, because the brand is just so resilient. 2009, I believe we ended that year at 46, if my memory serves me correctly, 46, 47 million visitors. We were able to come back in 10 and break a record at 51.5 million. I mean, we were able to swing at 5, 6 million people in 1 year.
And you're still expecting
And
an
we're still
increase
growing.
now.
We're going to add the numbers come out for last year in 2 weeks. They're going to be around 54 million. So we have added another 2.5 million. This year we're going to add another million. I've done some analysis and some calculations, and of course I'm an optimist. So, you know, I'm sure there's people say, oh yeah, sure, but
That's
you
a
know
good
what?
thing to be.
In my job, I think you need to be an optimist, because like I said, I think our best days are ahead of us. We're going to hit, not as a promise, but I believe we have the opportunity to hit 75 million visitors by the year 2025. Now, if you're like wow, now you're trying to get your arms around that and your head around that. What keeps me up at night a little bit is, okay, if you drop another 25 million visitors on this destination tomorrow, well, tell me the challenges.
The
Tell me the
infrastructure, and that Sunrail,
exactly.
How will
Well, you know, rail is critical. International visitors, when they get off the plane at OIA, what's their first question? Where's the rail?
Because they're accustomed to traveling that way.
So we have to find a way, and Sunrail is a start. We got to get it connected to OIA. We got to have high speed that connects.
So you see those are key factors
Absolutely.
in
someday Miami,
expanding.
Orlando, Tampa, and then off to Daytona and up north. That's the future. When you get that grid in, then you can go to the world and say, we have a playground as well as a business environment that is probably second to none. Because who could offer the variety of experiences in that grid? Nobody could.
What do you envision as the next big thing for the tourism industry for us here in Central Florida?
I think medical tourism, but it's not what you think. It's not so much coming to Orlando for cosmetic surgery or what have you. What I consider medical tourism is we're building this incredible Lake Nona medical city. We got this fantastic Nicholson Center at Celebration Florida Hospital. It's unbelievable. We're doing 6,000 robotic surgeries a year for prostate cancer. Medical professionals from around the world are coming to Central Florida to be trained in that. So when I think about modeling simulation and what we're known for worldwide for that, we're the center of that, maybe the epicenter for that. When I think about the migration now of modeling simulation moving over to medical health care, think about the medical city, thinking about the great assets we have with Florida Hospital, Orlando Health. Wow. Could we be the center for medical health care training, education, research, and simulation?
The diversification is
Absolutely.
Exactly what we need
where people
for the
come
economy.
here
Yes.
to be trained. Medical professionals from around the world will come to Orlando to be better tomorrow than they are today. And what's great about Orlando is they can bring their family while they're getting trained and
so
educated.
We have a double.
Right.
Yes. Gary,
That's the future, I think.
thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Gary Sain made an enormous impact on Central Florida's travel and leisure industry. If you would like to honor his memory, consider giving to the Gary C. Sain Memorial Endowed Scholarship Fund at UCF's Rosen College of Hospitality Management. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Diane Trees.
This program is made possible by funding from the UCF Metropolitan Center for Regional Studies, where government leaders, business executives, and academic experts come together to discuss major issues facing the state of Florida.